Then I talk about getting your bills paid. One of the saddest things that I encounter in my practice is when somebody comes to my office 6 months or a year after their accident, and they're really hurting. I mean, you can tell they're hurting. They walk in, their neck is stiff, and they're barely moving, and they sit down. And I say, how long ago was your accident? I was 8 months ago. Well, what kind of treatment have you gotten? Oh, I didn't get any because I don't have insurance. I can't help that person. You can't start your treatment 8 months or 12 months after your accident and expect a jury or an insurance company to take it seriously. So what do? Well, if you knew all the options that were available, you could do something about it. I talk about that in my book. If you have your own auto insurance, you make sure you have your maximum personal injury protection. And you can get a layer of MedPay, medical payment coverage, on top of your personal injury protection. You can get that up to $100,000. So, except for the most catastrophic injuries, you can make sure your bills get paid. If you don't have that, you can use your health insurance. Even the worst health insurance that's available, even the Apple Health, Molina, the state health care, it will provide the basic treatment that you need to start recovering from your accident. And if you don't have any of that, you come to me, and I can help you find providers who will treat you on a lien, who will wait to get paid until the conclusion of your case. There's also companies that will pay your bills as you go, and they'll hold the lien and wait to get paid until the end of the case. And finally, the least optimal, but still possible, is there's financing available. If you've got a strong case, you can get an advance on your claim and use that to pay your medical bills. The point is there's options. And if you don't know your options and you don't ask anybody, you're going to make mistakes. And when you make those mistakes, you're doing the opposite of maximizing your claim. You're giving it away. And let me be clear about this maximizing your claim. People come to me who are looking to hit the jackpot. I send them to somebody else. This is not a lottery. In fact, in 20 years practicing law, I've never had a client at the end of their case take their check and say, thank you so much for this check. I would gladly go through this again for this money. I've never met somebody who would do that. And so when the insurance adjuster says to me, well, we think your client is faking, and I say, really, who do you know that would go to physical therapy and chiropractic and acupuncture and get MRIs and CT scans and do all this and leave their work and have to hire people to take care of their kids and families? Who would do that for a few $1,000s? I don't know anybody who would. But there's a certain kind of mindset that believes that if you're making a claim, you're a fraud, or if you're not a fraud, you're at least exaggerating. And so knowing your rights in advance helps you counter that mindset. It helps you make sure that what the law says you're entitled to is something that you're going to get. Maybe an attorney can help you with that. Sometimes you don't need an attorney. I met with a potential new client yesterday, and he came into my office, and I talked to him and listened to what he had to say, and he was a very fit, young guy in his mid-20s. You could tell he lifted weights. He didn't look that hurt. And I said, how are you feeling? He said, I'm all right. His accident was 3 days ago. And I said, well, what are you thinking here? What do you want? What do you need? He said, I want to get a couple of massages. I think if I get 2 or 3 massages, I'll be fine. Okay, good. That's honest, right? He's not trying to make something out of nothing. I said, you know what? I respect what you're telling me, and you don't need me. I could take your case and maybe get you a couple $1,000s and take a third of it, but you don't need me. They'll do that. You've got the coverage already. Here's what you do. Step 3, give it away, right? Here's what you need to do to get what you deserve, what you need in this situation. You can get your massage paid. You can get a little money for the inconvenience and the pain and suffering. It was clearly the other guy's fault, right? You don't need me.